in the ocean get ate by sharks. She chuckled a little bit. She goes, talk to your dad about it. Me being a smart, but 18-year-old, so what the hell does he know about that? He was on that show. That's when I found out. My mom and dad were married 7 years. My mom did not know nothing about it until the first book came out in 1958. They were married in 1951. But this is an amazing story. He's going to tell a little bit about it. We're going to ask questions and then I'll go back into it a little bit. My dad's 92. He lives about 3 miles from me.
91.
I'm sorry.
Well played.
Okay, he'd be 92. He'd be 92 March 14th. Okay? Because every time I go get a medicine, they say, when's his birthday? 3/14/27. I know that by heart. It's an amazing story what he's going to tell today. Then he's going to tell a little bit about it, and then we ask questions. We got this book here. Only 317 survivors. There's only 14 left, still alive. This book is 122 survivors tell their story of what they went through. It's $30. We take cash or check. If we got any extra, we'll probably talk to somebody about putting them down in downstairs, and you can buy them from down there. If we got any left, we probably brought maybe 50 books. Okay, so first come, first serve afterwards. He already pre-signed them. If you wanted to, Jimmy or whatever, that's up to you. But we got them already pre-signed. A couple things about my dad. He's 91. He lives by himself. He does his own cooking, his own cleaning, his own laundry. Does okay job for 91. But he just likes it. My mom died in 2002. Then he got remarried again, and she died about 3 years ago. But he don't drive no more. So I retired from GM for 42 years. I'm in his bookie, his son. We do everything together. We're sports junkies. We love sports. We love the Tigers and Lions, and I don't know why sometimes. We're Spartans. We love the Spartans. I see some Spartan things around here. We love that. But I quit talking. My dad's going to tell you the great story, and then we'll ask questions. And here's my dad, Dick Thelen, the survivor of the USS Indianapolis. How do we turn this on?
Use the microphone, I think.
Okay, use the microphone.
Oh, okay. Okay. I joined the Navy in December of '44, and you had to join 2 or 3 months in advance to get in the Navy. My birthday's in March. So he called me up in January, went through boot camp, and back home again, then out to California, Shoemaker, California. A lot of people ask me, I got a Navy with a neighbor, man, across the street. A lot of people ask me, so how come you board in Indianapolis? Well, our company stood in alphabetical order. His last name was Andrews and mine the other end. The officer told us to call it 1212. The one step forward. The ones were aboard the USS New Jersey and Bremerton, Washington. The rest of us were aboard the Indianapolis in Shoemaker, California. That's a lot of people ask me how I got parted on that ship. That's it. So anyhow, when we first got there, they sent me gunnery school, firefighter school for about a week and a half. Then I reported back to the ship. We were sleeping in barracks that time because the ship was in dry dock. And so they give me a job. I need a civilian welder on a ship. Has to be accomplished by Navy personnel with a fire extinguisher. So I was assigned to a man for about 6 weeks. I did a lot of reading and real good duty. Lucked out. Anyhow, the ship was running a small shakedown cruise. We went down to Shoemaker, California, and that's where they loaded the first atomic bomb aboard. There we went to Thelen, and Thelen to Guam, And we're going from Guam to Leyte to join the 7th Fleet for the invasion of Japan. 10 after 12 Sunday night, halfway between Guam and Leyte, two torpedoes hit us. They shot 6 and 2 hit.
Dad, show them where
Okay.
show them where they hit.
One, everybody got a different opinion. Some say 20, sometimes 50, 60,
Here.
off the
I'm
bow.
gonna bring this up
It
with
blew it off the bow. And the other torpedo hit midship, which is aviation gases stored and a lot of power for the guns. That blew a real big hole in the bottom of the ship. It was 610 feet long with the 3 football fields, and it sank in 12 minutes, which is really, really fast. I was sleeping topside about where that end's gun is because I had a 4 to 8 watts in the morning up on the twin 20s in the bow. The man was supposed to be up at quarter to 4. I lay down about 10, maybe quarter to 12. And the ship blew up at 12, or 10 minutes after 12. I was sleeping topside because it was too hot below that. We would take our shoes and our clothes and make a little pillow out of it and take a blanket and fold it in two and make a sleeping bag out of it. That's where I was sleeping. And the torpedo hit. I went in the air. I can't tell you if I went 2 feet or 20 feet. I don't know. I came down and I was over about from here with my son when the cable goes outside the ship. I almost left the ship with no life raft. Anyhow, me and I don't know 6, 8, 10 guys went aft for general quarters. In quarterdeck was all the gallop with flames, so we couldn't cross. By that time, the ship was lifting to the starboard side pretty good, and somebody had a knife. They would cut down these life rafts, which hooked to the AS guns. And behind the AS guns were big canvas bags of life jackets. I got lucky enough to get one of them. By that time, the ship was really lifted to the starboard side. People asked me, where were you when you jumped off the ship? I didn't jump off the ship left me. So I swam, a little funny, but I swam away. And I told me people were still close to it. In other words, the last 500, 600 feet, it went down really, really slow. There was no suction on it. Anyhow, it was dark, and it was 10 after 12, Sunday night. Anyhow, we had probably 10 or 12 foot swells to ride. And it broke daylight, and then it was probably hard to say. I was a group probably 75 or so. It's hard to tell because you're at the top of the swell, no time you see anything. Your ears are going up or going down. And then Tuesday, the ocean kind of calmed down a bit, and that's when the sharks moved in. I seen, I don't know, 15, 20, 30, I can't count them all, was taken by sharks. Some guys were going out of their head Tuesday and Wednesday. They take their life jacket off and say they're going down below that to get a drink of water. Huh. If you drink salt water on an empty stomach, eyeballs pop out, foam comes to your mouth, and you go totally insane within about an hour or less. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't do that. I'm lucky. And Wednesday or Thursday, twice it happened to me. You feel the sharks bouncing around like a ping pong ball, the legs. But I kind of was on sleep mode. And twice I would come to where a shark was poking me in my life jacket. The shark's eyeballs and my eyeballs are about this far apart. Oh. Twice it happened. And I was told later the sharks probably didn't like me because I was saturated with diesel fuel. They don't like the smell of diesel fuel. That's fine. Of course, they used to see me at my work. People look out of bigger go the shark went that way. That's okay too. So anyhow, let me think. Wednesday afternoon was getting dark. I was a group probably 12, maybe 15. I can't tell you for sure. And the one man in there said, "Well, if they ain't looking for us Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, they're not looking for us. What the hell is it?" But lucky enough, by 10, 11 o'clock Thursday morning, here comes Chuck Gwynn on a patrol bomber. He's spraying an oil slick in the water. I got to tell you the story, or otherwise, he didn't do his job. None of us have been alive. He had trouble with a trailing antenna on his plane. So he was asked to put, he called a whirly gate on the antenna, so it wouldn't whip into the tail section. So he put it on. The whirly gate fell off. So the radio man had a hell of a time finding it in, so he called Chuck. Chuck come back to help him. By coincidence, that great big ocean, he happened to look down to the Bombay door and seen a oil slick. And then he went back up the co-pilot and asked him, see this here? So Chuck said, I'm going back and take another look. He did, made a 180-degree turn and dropped so many feet and looking. And he couldn't see much around. He couldn't see any detail, or not as big an oil slick. So Chuck said, there's still more going on down there. So he made another 80-degree turn. That's when he seen men in the water. This is Thursday morning. It wasn't kind of his so-called real curiosity and doing his job, none of us have been alive. Of course, and then he started putting positions in mind, and then 5 ships come pick us up, destroyers, and the closest one was about 8 to 9 hour sailing time, which is the Doyle, which got there before took me up. Anyhow, Adrian Marks, the pilot of the seaplane, and he dropped all his survivor gear, and his crewman was telling by Adrian, there's men taken by sharks right now down there. And Adrian Marks, now stop and think this over. He landed that seaplane out in open water. It wasn't a plane to land in that kind of sea, put it down. He put it down and he didn't know who we were or where we came from. He didn't know anybody. He put it down to save them men. He picked up 56 survivors. The plane that picked me, or the ship that picked me up, picked them off the plane too. I can go on and tell you stories so dark from here.
It is dark.
No. Anyhow,
Talk a little bit about Dad. Talk a little bit about what your dad did when he shook his hand.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Oh, okay. No, there's five things about the whole story. Is we set a speed record between the United States and Thelen. We took the first atomic bomb over Thelen. And that first time in ever a captain been court-martialed for loss of a ship. Never happened in the Navy before or since. And more men were lost on that ship, which is 880 men. It's the biggest loss of one ship in the history of the Navy in wartime. Everybody questioned the Arizona. It was an hour or two before the war. And the Navy Department told us guys we spent more time in a life jacket without food and water than anybody else. We set a record. So
they went from Sunday night at midnight till Friday morning. He went 104 hours, no food, no water.
100-degree temperature.
100-degree temperature.
And a lot of doctors, especially the bad part about when the ship was firstly sunk, you bounce up and down, and you smell the diesel fuel in some of your mouth, and salt water, and bouncing up and down. Anyhow, you throw up some of the stuff. I probably threw half what I had in the stomach. So more or less, you went that long without on an empty stomach. And a lot of doctors say you can't do that, but we did. And to me, it'd be easier to die out there. You really had to work your hell out of it to stay alive. In other words, concentration on your family. So like David brought up. My dad signed me to go in the Navy, 17 years old. So after boot camp, I was home on boot camp when President Roosevelt died. And he shook my hand real firmly. He said, Dad, why don't you come home? I said, Dad, the war is winding down in Europe. I mean, nothing's going to happen to me. Every time I was ready to get up, I could feel my hand shaking my hand out. So I could see his face out there. It sounded a little stupid, but he brought me home. Believe me. And I told him when he got home, Dad said, how the hell did I do that? You did it, Dad. He died a year ago. I was trying to think of other parts.
Tell a little bit about the captain, getting court-martialed.
Oh, okay.
Going to Washington, D.C., what Hunter Scott did.
Years ago, we had a reunion, 1960, every 5 years. years ago, he had 200 survivors sitting around me. Last July, we had 5 survivors, including myself. You can't comprehend the feeling you got when a few years ago you had 200 men sitting around you, and each year it drops, but last year was 5. So, and this year, coming up next July, who knows? I may be on. My kids give me hell when I say that. Oh, by the way, I have 6 kids, 3 boys, 2 girls. He's the youngest boy. Yeah. And, what you ask me now?
That's why I stand up here for.
Yeah, my mind.
You shouldn't. He's 91. He should still have his mind, but he don't sometimes. So I have to get him back. Talk about the captain a little bit. Wait a minute. Talk about the captain. 1960 came to reunion, and in '65, what happened to the captain?
In 1958, we tried to get the reunion together, which I did. I went down to Indianapolis. We drove down. We put it together in '58. In 1960, was our first reunion. The captain was there with his wife. In 1965, 5 years later, he couldn't make it. I understand sickness or wasn't feeling that good or whatever. In 1968, he took his hand revolver and blew his head off, suicide. Why he did that? Because his wife told us, in 1970, he had 2 sons. The son would give a talk at our reunion, asked. Every Christmas, the man would get 200 or 300 Christmas cards. It wasn't kind of you, my husband, or my son be alive today, and it got to him. A lot of people don't know that. It really got to him. So, and then my wife and I, we fought the floor of Congress trying to get that nullified. And now we've been beating our gums since 1958. Finally, President Clinton signed it in 1990. We were 32 years fighting it, with letters, going to Washington, D.C., begging, everything else, trying to get it exonerated. We finally made it. After 32 years, the government really moves slow.
Yeah.